Good evening, team. Hope we have all had a bloody marvellous week and a very sunny Sunday. Hope you've all managed to get yourselves outside in said sun. Just going to check that we are live in the Facebook group. Yes, we are. Fantastic. Okay, guys, so weekly program overview video for you, as always, on this fine Sunday. Got a few surprises for you this week, not least a Hyrox Workshop that we're going to be running next Sunday. So if you've got a Hyrox event coming up, Manchester, as an example, or you're going abroad, dial in on Sunday. I'll come back to that in just a minute. We've also got a brand new training block, as I mentioned last week, for the Hybrid Athlete Program. I'm going to go through a little bit about that. Let's dive in. So first of all, I just wanted to remind everyone that as part of the Hybrid Athlete Club membership that you will have, you do have access to all of our programs. So if you are on a monthly program, you've got access to all of the Hyrox programs, all of the hybrid programs, all of the running programs, and there is a couple more coming very, very soon. There's an Olympic weightlifting block and a powerlifting block, both being released over the next week or so. So if at any point you do want to make a change, so let's say, for instance, you're currently on the Hyrox program, gearing up to Manchester, you want to pivot and do some hybrid training, there's two ways you can do that. The first way is to jump onto the website. On the home page of the website, if you scroll down to the How It Works section, there is a Request a Change tab there. If you just click that, let us know what program you want to move on to, and we'll organize that for you. If you forget to do that, just drop us a message in the app and we'll sort it out for you. As I said, you've got access to all programs within the Hybrid Athlete Club. So any that get released, whether it's fixed term or the rolling monthly ones, you have access to them all. So if you fancy a change, just let us know and we'll move you on to a new program. As I alluded to, for those that are doing Manchester, or if you've got a Hyrox event later on in the year, maybe you're doing Olympia, I'm going to be running a workshop. So a session just like this next Sunday. It's going to follow on straight from the program overview session. And we are going to go through all things Hyrox. We've got loads of you going to Manchester. I'm really keen to make sure everyone absolutely smashes that race week, so week after next. So we're going to go through training in the last week prior to the race, what we need to think about in terms of recovery, making sure that you're dialed in for your nutrition that week, and then ensuring that you have a race strategy, whether that is solo or doubles. Then we're going to go through race day itself. So what does your nutrition look like in the morning? If you're racing in the evening, how might that change? What does your warm-up look like? And then what do you need to be thinking about between the ears, before, during, and after the race? So we're going to go through all of that, probably looking at about 45 minutes-ish. I'll try and keep it as short and sweet as possible. And this is going to be an open invite. So I'm going to be streaming it to YouTube. I'm going to share that link around to absolutely everybody. So if you've got anyone that you know is doing a Hyrox and needs to hear some of this stuff, then by all means, share the link. I'm going to post that link in the Facebook group and we'll email it out probably on Tuesday. So look out for that. As I said, for those of you Hyrox, you are now 2 weeks out from race day. We'll go through your program in just a bit. And then the hybrid athlete. So as a reminder, we've kicked off our new hybrid block. This is a running and lifting block. So your strength KPIs are front squat, strict press, and deadlift. And then you are either on a half marathon or a 10K track. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in practice first. So within the program for hybrid athletes, you're going to see 2 running sessions when there is a running session. The first one is going to be labeled HM and the second one is going to be labeled 10K. On the running days, you'll have a running warm-up, and that is the same for everybody. And then you're going to choose between either the half marathon track or the 10K track. So in week 10, you are either going to test a half marathon or a 10K. Now, just to explain the difference between these two blocks. So the 10K block is designed for those of you that have been following the hybrid program for a bit or don't necessarily run outside of programming or have any prior running experience. So the first couple of weeks are more walk run, and it builds through from that walk run up to 5K in week 4. And then from week 4 onwards, we start thinking about building some time on our feet up to a 10K. So if you're newer to running or haven't got loads and loads of running experience, that is going to be the track for you. The half marathon track assumes that you can run 5K without stopping. So for those of you that have got a little bit more running experience and are thinking about stretching that a bit further or want to test yourself. Now, in both instances, if the 10K track's a little bit too easy or half marathon track's a little bit too hard, again, as always, drop us a message and we will sort you out. So have a little look through both of them for this week. Drop me a message in the app if you've got any questions. And as I said, if there is a preference towards one of them, it's a little bit too easy, a little bit too hard, then drop us a message. For those of you that are on the half marathon block, you're going to need to use our running calculator for the first week. So if you haven't seen this yet, it's a nifty little tool that we built. And what this allows you to do is put in a recent run that you have done, how long it took you, and it will give you a prediction for your 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon based on that run. And it will also give you the training paces that you need to be able to achieve to do that. So just as an example, if I have recently run a 5K and I did it in 30 minutes, the calculator is going to tell me that that would be equivalent to, or 31 minutes, now that I've clicked on it. Internet's a bit shaky, bear with it. Come on now. Classic technical issues when you're live. Let's give it a refresh, shall we? Let's try that again. 30 minutes, 5K. Here we go. So obviously my race prediction for a 5K would be 30 minutes. What the calculator then does is predict, based on your performance, 5K in 30 minutes, how long a 10K, half marathon, and marathon might take you. So for those on the half marathon track, what you will need to do is put in your recent run, 5 kilometers at 30 minutes, and it's going to give you a predicted half marathon time of 2 hours and 17 minutes. So if we now put that into the calculator, 2 hours and 17 minutes, we run the calculation again. We scroll down, it will now give us the paces that you need to use whilst you're on the program. You can either have them in kilometers or miles. In the running program, you're going to see 3 paces predominantly mentioned: easy pace, threshold pace, and interval pace. And these are the paces that you need to note down. Again, if that's a little bit too technical, don't worry, drop me a message in the app and I will do it for you. Moving on to the Hyrox program. Again, you're a couple of weeks out now. Hopefully, we're looking forward to it. Let's have a little look at your week. What you're going to notice right off the bat is that there is quite significantly reduced volume for the week. So obviously, being a couple of weeks out now, we're looking at quality over quantity. We've kind of done the volume of the work now. We're just thinking about fine-tuning not only our movements, but also our pacing on those movements. A couple of bits that I want you to focus on for the week. So on Monday, let me zoom in here for you so you can see a bit better. Here we go. Tell you what, let's get rid of my face as well. So on Monday, you have got a run. It's 42 minutes in total, and there is a 2 10-minute blocks at your Hyrox target pace. This is going to be the first real test of whether that race pace you've got in mind is going to be appropriate for you. You should find this run pretty easy. 7 out of 10 effort at most. What we're looking for on the day is that Hyrox race pace for each individual run is comfortable in the sense that you aren't having to work more than a 7 out of 10 effort to hold it. If whilst we're fresh and we're not doing workout stations, you can't do that for 10 minutes, which is for most of you going to be almost double the run time for each individual run, then we need to have a think about reanalyzing our pace for the day. The second session I want you to have a think about is on Tuesday. It is 6 4-minute AMRAPs. And again, this is the kind of final time we're going to have a think about our race paces for each of the stations. In this instance, you've got 6 4-minute AMRAPs. And each of those AMRAPs, as you can see, is one of the stations. And it's going to be at either your Hyrox target pace or weight that you need to use on the day. What we're looking at here is, can we hold our target pace or move the race weight for 4 minutes pretty consistently? And again, at around 7 out of 10 effort. If we can't do that, again, we're going to have a little rethink of our race strategy for the day. Last thing to note for the week is our third and final sim. So this week is double last week in 1 round. So last week you did 2 rounds, and that was essentially half of a round, 5-minute rest, half of a round. This week, 1 round, it's 4 time, as quick as you can. And we're just going to have a feel through each of the stations, having done both of our run pace and our workout station pace earlier in the week, whether we are comfortable putting those together. And as I said, this is double the workout last week, but it is half of, or just over half of what Hyrox is going to be in a couple of weeks' time if you're doing it solo. So whilst you're moving through this, again, we're looking at like 7, 8 out of 10 effort throughout the whole of the workout, and really trying to dial in the paces. So get yourself out a whiteboard before you start, jot down your target times, target paces for each of the movements, and try and stick to those the best you can. Packed in loads there, team. Hopefully you can watch this back. If you've got any questions, as always, drop them in the comments, and look out for that Hyrox Workshop link that I'm going to post on Tuesday. Have yourselves a wicked week, team. See you out there.